Cole Peters. What if malaria could be wiped out of the mosquito population by modifying DNA? According to Patricia Schlagenhoff, a scientist and professor at the University of Zurich, as well as the Zurich Geosentinel site director, in the book Travel Medicine and Infectious Disease, published in 2015, states that there are approximately 660,000 malaria deaths in the world each year. We have all taken 10th grade biology and learned about genetics with Ms. Heitman. Genetically modified animals will benefit humankind. First, I will define what a genetically modified animal is. Next, I will discuss their benefits to research. And finally, I will discuss how genetically modified animals can benefit the economy. First, let's define what a genetically modified animal is. According to Han Zhang, a postdoctoral associate at Emory University Vaccine Center, in the book Food Science and Human Wellness, published in 2016, states that genetic modification is a biological technique that involves the genetic modification by altering the DNA of a host animal. One way that a host animal can be altered through DNA is by inserting DNA of a certain gene into that host animal. Presented by Mauro Patrillo, a bioinformatics and biotechnology researcher for the European Commission's Joint Research Center, in the book Trends in Food Science and Technology, published in 2015, states that when the expression of novel or ideal traits is the intended goal, the DNA for these traits must be inserted into the host animal's DNA coding. Another way that DNA insertion can impact an animal is by silencing or hiding certain genes in that animal. Deleting or removing genes is another way that animals can be genetically modified. This deletion and removing of the genes can be advantageous when an unwanted trait, such as vulnerability to a deadly disease, is a trait that is found in the animal. Now that we know what genetically modified animals are, we can discuss what their benefits to research are. Genetically modified animals provide benefits to research that other animals cannot. Therapy strategies can be developed through studying genetically modified animals. According to Pam Belloc, a New York Times writer who has won the Pulitzer Prize for her coverage of the Ebola epidemic, in the journal The New York Times, published in 2016, states that monkeys can be genetically modified to display autistic behaviors. The effects of deep brain stimulation, gene therapy, and medication are all things that can be studied through these autistic monkeys. The resemblance that monkeys bear to humans is very great, so the application of this research can be applied directly to humans, to the human autism disorder. Medicines can also be created through genetically modified animals. Scientists can manufacture pharmaceuticals inside of these animals. Pharmaceuticals developed inside of mammals, for example, can be easily extracted through the mammal's milk and passed on to humans for use as pharmaceutical drugs. Now that we know what the benefits of genetically modified animals are to research, we can discuss their impacts on the economy. Genetically modified animals will boost the world economy. Byproducts of livestock can be enhanced through genetic modification. Growth rate, meat and milk composition, and wool production are all traits that can be improved through genetic modification. Producers will be able to provide and sell more of their products due to this enhancement, and the increase of production and quality of these traits can help feed the 795 million people who are undernourished in the world. Cattle can also be able to endure diseases through genetic modification. Hannah Devlin, a Guardian science correspondent with a PhD in biomedical imaging, in the journal The Guardian, published in 2015, stated that in 2010 and 2011, the bovine tuberculosis virus cost the British government an estimated 152 million euros, or around 170 million US dollars. Some cattle have been genetically modified to withstand this virus. These cattle have had a mouse gene inserted into their DNA to protect them from the tuberculosis virus. We have now learned, first, what genetically modified animals are, second, what their benefits to research can be, and finally, how they will boost the world economy. Genetically modified animals will benefit humankind. Hopefully, the world will continue to study genetically modified animals in order to avoid horrible situations, such as the massive amount of deaths caused by malaria.